SwissBorg is the official partner of my channel where you can buy, sell, hold and more importantly stake your cryptocurrencies. You can even earn yield on your stablecoins. Sign up with my link and you'll earn up to $100 worth of their native token CHSB just for depositing €50 worth of crypto. SwissBorg! Hello everybody, welcome back. Just made a whole video with the no sound, so I'll do the video again with sound this time. It's usually a bit more helpful. So we're going to start with the domino effect, and hopefully you know what I mean by that. We start with Forex, move into S&P and blah, blah, blah. And I think that things are working out exactly as expected. And before I go any further, if you want to join the Patreon, we've got a live stream tonight. £7.50 a month, 2 live streams a week. Links in the description below, as are all the links for anything you could ever want. Right, so the thing about the euro. So the euro came down to the bottom of the Bollinger Band, basically. We're looking for, hopefully, a retest of this daily golden cross, which is its bottom target, for the best area for hopefully to see it move into and then bounce from. It's currently sitting around 105.1. And that would be great, if we did that and we held that and we bounced from that. And the fundamentals currently, at this very moment in time, favour further upside for the euro, further downside for the dollar. That's what it favours, and the chart suggests that as well, provided we're above that level. So I'm looking for that to happen, but it doesn't have to happen today. We've come down to an area where, if anything, we get sucked back up into the Bollinger Band, because Bollinger Band strategy will tell you that 95% of price action will take place within the Bollinger Band, but it also tells you that depending on which partition of the Bollinger Band you're in, you're more likely to stay in that side to the tune of 65%. So if that's the case, we'll be looking for something like this. There's your Bollinger Band center, sort of maybe curling down a little bit like that. Maybe we move up towards the top of it over the next few days or so, and then we come back down, and there's your this is your 200 exponential sort of floating around like that. So we'll be looking for a retest somewhere around there. So I am looking for this to go lower. I've closed my longs on it just to take some profit, because my longs have been quite sizable. I don't like holding on to longs of such enormous size, and I'll be looking for this to maybe meander back up to any one of these areas, back up to 108 or so, or 108.3, and then pull back and continue with this downtrend, which in my opinion, well, it's not an opinion, it's a hope really, if anything, is a bullish retest of a golden cross on the daily, which moves us down to the 106 to 105 area. Breaking down below there, though, things will get a little bit more nasty. It doesn't mean that they have major continuation, but they will get a bit more nasty, and that'll take all markets down with it, in my opinion. Take a look at the Dixie. The Dixie is exactly the opposite of that, because that's what the Dixie is a barometer of strength and weakness of the dollar. And yeah, that's moved up outside of the top of the Bollinger Band towards the 50 exponential. So exactly the opposite of what we saw on the euro. This is why we look at the euro first, because the dollar is just a gauge of the strength and weakness, whereas the euro is the major component to the Dixie, and that's why we like to look at that chart more than anything else. So yeah, it's no surprise to see this doing this. And so what we'd expect of this is Bollinger Band strategy. Let's get sucked back into the Bollinger Band. The 65% more likely of staying above for the moment. And we'll be looking for a death cross bearish retest, which would move us up towards 104 kind of area, 104.5, depends on when it does it, but that's the kind of thing we're looking at. But in the short term, as in like today, maybe tomorrow, we might be looking for a pullback towards these areas and see where we go. So nothing major. The major move, if anything, has happened already from last Friday to today. Maybe a little continuation in the current direction. Maybe a small time reversal, but either way, what it would equate to is probably a bit of a boring day while it decides which direction it wants to go. Does it follow through instantly with the way it's going, or does it have a little bit of a bounce around here? I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. American markets are going to help us decide that, and that's not going to be for quite a little while yet, until they open. S&P, again, I believe the bear market has ended. I believe this is an accumulation period. And if we think about the S&P, we're coming down to the 10 exponential, which is our first major area of support on this current pullback. And that sits around 4,080, give or take. And again, we've got an incoming golden cross taking place here on the daily, where moving averages have crossed above the outside of this descending triangle, which is your main bear market formation. We're outside of that now. So if anything, we're looking to see a building a base outside of this triangle, to be honest. And this is probably going to be a slow grind as well. But there's a difference in it, because this is sometimes comments on the YouTube will often say, you say the end of the bear market, but you said it's at the beginning of a bull market. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, an accumulation period. Yeah, so I mean, technically, I suppose that is the beginning of a bull market, but don't get it wrong, because a lot of people will just hear the word bull market and expect to be making hundreds and thousands of percent. That's not really how it's going to go. It's most likely going to be a slow grind until confidence really fully resumes and money pours back into the system. We're still going through rate hikes at the moment, quantitative tightening. There's only so far these charts will allow themselves to run. The money isn't and the confidence isn't available yet, not to the same extent that it was. So we should be thinking about accumulation, if anything, and an investment opportunity for a long-term perspective. For the S&P, I'm talking 5 to 10, 20 years. Pension plans. For crypto, I'm talking 2 to 3 years, 4-year market cycle stuff. But still, volatility and frustration is likely to ensue over this next 2 to 3 years for Bitcoin and crypto, right? And I'm going to make a video about altcoins specifically, as I still believe buy, hold, and stake is a great way to play this market. Take yourself outside of the day-to-day and just focus on buying and holding, staking, and leaving the hell alone. Focusing on the idea that the concept, the model, which is still very much appropriate, the 4-year market cycle is still very much in play, will continue again, which means that whatever it is that you buy, provided it's not an absolute piece of crap, will eventually end up quite a lot higher than where it is right now. But until between now and maybe 3 years from now, it could be up, it could be down, just like it was in the last bull market. So let's think about Bitcoin just very briefly here. So what we see is on this daily, major resistance being the Bollinger Band Center. Remember, 65% more likely to remain below it. If you are below it, we are below it here. And maybe if we're lucky, we come down to this 21,500. Notice the 200 exponential back in the top of that area up. Let's have a look at the 4 hourly, not the 6 hourly, the 4 hourly. The 4 hourly's also got a 200 exponential floating around that level. So if there's an opportunity to long, not that I'm suggesting you use derivatives unless you're already, well acquainted with it, that would be an area where you'd maybe think about, that kind of opportunity presenting itself quite nicely, because that is a decent area of support based on horizontals. We've got resistances, supports, resistances, and now we've also got not just outside of the breakout zone, but we've got this major horizontal resistance stroke support backed up by 2 major moving averages on the 4 hourly and the daily. It's a really decent area to think about, an area to hopefully catch a decent move, and it wouldn't take long to know if you were wrong. So recognize that, by the way. Your stop losses always are going to be your best friend when using derivatives, and I'm not suggesting that you do it if you've never done it before, but if you are going to go down that route, stop losses are a must. And these are the sort of places you'd like to try it at, because it doesn't take long to know if you're wrong. If it goes the wrong way below, let's just say 21,300, you're probably wrong. It's probably going to go deeper and you get stopped out, no big deal. But if it bounces from this area, excellent, you might have caught a higher low and we go on to make a higher high. So anyway, don't mistake, I'm not trying to shill you derivatives, believe me. I'm not the moon. Look at it, that's not me. Derivatives are for those who have to how to put it into context. You've got to have risk management, full stop, and you've got to have attention to detail. You've got to have time to monitor the position, and you've got to be prepared to get completely slapped in the face and take losses. Anyway, outside of that whole concept, the general thing I would be trying to focus on here is that is a great destination to pull back into to maintain structure on the chart and build a base and allow for the golden cross to maybe continue to form and maybe even complete in what looks like maybe the end of the week, provided we stay above 21,500. Right, so I'll leave it with you there. I'll make another video about altcoins and what you should expect about altcoins. I'll leave a little list about what altcoins that I'm looking to buy, hold, and stake. If not the ones I'm already buy, hold, I've bought, holding, and staking. But and what you should expect as we enter this bull market, which will be choppy. hopefully I'll get time to make another video about that today. But until then, I hope you have a nice day. Maybe I'll see you on the Patreon. If you want to leave a comment, this is exactly the place to do it because the algorithm likes that. Same with the likes, like the end of the video. That's what YouTube want. But yeah, Patreon live streams take place Tuesdays and Friday nights, and the links are in the description below. All right, thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.